Hi everyone, it's Natalie here. So this is yes, this is three decks that arrived just in time for Christmas. They were not Christmas presents, um, and it's morning. It's after Christmas. It's just a chance to kind of jump in and do this. Morning unboxings have become a thing over the last few months, although I haven't been posting them. But look what I found. This is a mug. I don't know how clearly that's coming across, and I don't want to spill my coffee. But this is I got this at St. Martin's in the Field in London in Trafalgar Square when I lived there. I think probably got it at the end of the late 90s when I first moved there. And just found it at my mom and dad's because I was lucky enough to be able to go see them. We've been able to form like a little bubble. So, yeah, pretty nifty. Anyway, thought I had to show the mug there. Had to show the mug. It is a hand-thrown piece, interestingly, but it was mass-produced, by whomever, created these mugs for St. Martin's. Anyway, it's always been one of my favorite mugs to drink coffee or tea from. And I forgot I had it. And we were talking about it last night, and suddenly my mom was like, "Oh, dig in that one cupboard under the whatever," and I found it. So there we go. So, here comes a big doggy with a toy. He's very excited about it. Okay. Without further ado. So, one I have opened already. Two of them I've opened already. Let's be real. One has not been opened. One is a delightful surprise. One is a terrible disappointment. The third remains to be seen. So there we go. Isn't that fun? So this is a cute little deck. It came with this tape on it, and lucky for me, the tape wasn't completely stuck down because I'm totally going to put that in a journal somewhere because it's so pretty. But this is a deck by an artist. I don't even think I've got her business card unless she put it in here. Anyway, we can open this part. By Holly Audley is her name. And I can't remember that's her business name. She recently released the Elucidation Deck from the Hidden Hand Society. And this one, of course, is, that's it. Her name is Holly Loiseau. And it's about this wonderful cemetery in Savannah, Georgia. So I don't know if you would have seen it, the Laurel Grove South Cemetery. But this is the one that was most recently on Kickstarter. I love it so much. I thought it was so adorable. I'm sure I've got an unboxing of it somewhere. That I just kind of barely put out there. But I realized I really wanted to see what the original divination deck was. And I know this one is a different cemetery. It's the Bonaventure Cemetery. And as a cemetery nerd, and someone who really enjoys, I enjoy cemeteries, always have. And in fact, the reason why this mug is even maybe appropriate this morning, God, be careful, Nat, is because where I got this, I used to go and do brass rubbings in the crypt at St. Martin's in the Field, which I'm sure won't surprise anybody. When I lived there, it was a very simple situation. It was just like a little cafeteria, and the first thing you would see when you walked downstairs was the crypt, and it was just wonderful, and it was a great way to spend a Saturday when you're really poor. Also, the museums in London are all free. So if you're really poor and you live in London, but you have a travel card, or bus fare, bus fare is cheaper than tube fare. But if you have a travel card, you can use both. You could go and just look at art all day. So that really is literally what I used to do while I was very poor. This will play into another one of my choices. So there we go. So, coming back to this one, cemeteries, love them. One of my practices with the chud is to go to cemeteries and practice there. and sit, or as Machik says, to go and sit in haunted places, practice in haunted places, because they bring things up in us, right? And that's ultimately what we're practicing with. And then while we're at it, if there's anything that needs to benefit from our practice, then so much the better, right? So this came obviously packaged beautifully. The box has been repurposed as a Christmas present box for a gift card. Otherwise, I would still have it. But she put in a really cool scratch off. So that'll be a fun thing. And I also purchased from her a little... I just went to her shop. I wanted to see this deck. This is a seconds deck. This is a deck that I got very inexpensively and at a greatly reduced cost for decks that only cost $25 for this level of quality. But she, I guess because it's dinged on the side, it's a reduced cost. I mean, Holly, thank you, because what a great surprise. It's beautiful. And I don't think that's a second at all. Personally, I mean, I get the quality control thing, but it's not what I'm worried about. So this is, for me, this is a great surprise and it's a delight. But the pin is one of the ones on her site that I thought, oh my gosh, I have to have that. It says, "What is to give light must endure burning." What is to give light must endure burning. And I can really relate to that deeply, as I'm sure many people can. So, so there we are. And I'll scratch this off at the end of the video. How about that? We'll put it here so I don't forget. So this is the deck. Welcome, come in and find what you seek. That's adorable. Okay, so, oh, wonderful. Ooh, the answers lie within. Ooh, I love stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I am such a nerd for things like that. Okay, so this is going to require a little bit of doing. Let's see, I think it's a tooth job here, guys. Okay, so that's dealt with, and now we have these adorable cards. The stump, the moth, the candle, the wren. There's a wren. I call my tiny house the wren house because I have wrens that live in the house. One of these days, I promise I will do a video about the tiny house. The key, the urn, the bouquet, the spider, the moon. Okay, so these are super cute. I should probably do a side-by-side at some point or a comparison video. But let's see. This is for those who love walking around gravestones, those who feel connected to nature, life, and death. Though many don't consider this, cemeteries are a place of hope as much as loss. I have to agree. Yeah, draw a card when you need guidance and read the interpretation of the card found within this guide. Let those words prompt your thinking and set you into forward motion. So these are always very simple. They are in the other deck as well. It's a wonderful little fortune telling kind of deck. Very simple answers. Yeah, I love this. So this is another important aspect of Holly Audley and her work. So I may do a further video on her work. Holly Loiseau, I believe that's correct, is a doodler maker living in Savannah, Georgia. Holly Audley is her brand, and her goods can be found in over 100 stores throughout the U.S. and across the globe. She also runs the Hidden Hand Society, a secret society dedicated, I believe it should say dedicated to mentally ill people like her. When she's not dreaming her next project into reality, you can find her watching a cult classic with her husband, talking true crime with her son, chasing her daughter around the living room, or herding her 2 cats. So, yeah, I kind of completely adore her and her work, and yeah, I love to support the Hidden Hand Society as well. yeah, my partner trained as a, formally trained as a art therapist. You know, we both have had mental health issues and regularly work with them in order to remain healthy, frankly. So there we are. So that is Holly's deck. And I think probably I'll come back and do another little walkthrough, you know, that combines both of our loves, mental health and death. Which are, you know, intricately related to one another, believe it or not. All right, so there we go. There's the delightful surprise. Now for the disappointment, and I needed to move that spec. I don't know why. Okay, the Angel Tarot, which arrived a couple days before Christmas. Not a disappointment because of the deck. The disappointment is, and these are going to have to go back because of it. Okay, everything's okay, but you know, on the inside, I was like, oh man, I don't know how visible that is, but there was some kind of glue or something on the edge of the ribbon. And so there's like schmuck on the inside of the box. Not a deal breaker, right? We know how I am. Not a deal breaker for Nat. And of course there's like lines left from where the ribbon is, which tells me it was dirty going in, and I don't know why. But you know, printing is it's not a clean process in many ways. So, you know, I'm like, okay, I can be forgiving that. Not a big deal. My eyes notice things, but I'm not, you know, I'm practiced to let those things alone because they're just not a big deal. Nothing wrong with the book. The book is perfect, right? But as you open the box and look at it, yeah. So, you know, this kind of thing doesn't really bug me. What bugs me, of course, is that, I mean, this is just a disaster. It's a mess. So I don't know what happened here with these cards, but they got shoved or wedged into the box in such a way that at least 2 of the cards have just been destroyed. You know, and I just am not, I don't know. Whereas with an independent deck, I'm sure I would just kind of go, I'll just contact the artist and let them know so they can send me 2 extra cards. This, you know, I ordered this one off of Amazon. I just am returning it, you know, for $26, $28 from a major printer. No, no. And I'm really disappointed because there's some work I was hoping to do with this deck. I would not say I'm yet comfortable practicing Western-based magic. Okay, which may sound strange, but you know, I thought this kind of all worked because we're talking about death and we're talking about you know, crypts where and churches and so forth where it's Christmas and mugs and and gargoyles and all that. But yeah, I Western magic I'm not really entrenched in heavily. I'm learning about it from Benabel. I appreciate the way that Benabel, sip of coffee time, hang on. I appreciate the way that Benabel is able to combine, you know, Western and Eastern practice. And it has given me a sense of being able to do that or figure out how to do that, even though I'm a Westerner. But I think because I was raised in, you know, in a Christian tradition and made a conscious choice to leave it, it's harder for me to come back to this and accept it, even though I know that I work with and have worked with angels in past. How's that? I definitely know that they're real through my experience of them, which is all I can really say. But the idea that I can't. Sorry. This is not going to work for a magical practice in this condition. So if I were just going to, like, I don't know. But if it were just coming from Travis, I know I could just call Travis and be like, hey, dude, can I get a, you know, replacement but this is, you know, Rockpool's got to answer on this one. So there we are. So there's Angel Tarot. I'm sad about that because it took forever to get here. Later than what I wanted because there was an actual practice I was going to do, but I can't, or couldn't. So there we go. There are plenty of other practices that I can engage in. So this next deck arrived just in time, and it came in this lovely red mailer from Red Orchid Publishing. So some of you will know exactly what this is. Mailed on my birthday, the 13th of the 12th. So it was a delight to get. It arrived Christmas Eve, and I just haven't gotten it yet. Because Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were just a little busy. Okay, so I've got the top of it open. And, oh, that's delicious to feel already. Okay. Ooh, and that's a red orchid. So inside is the Edvard Munch Tarot for relationships, which, of course, any tarot reader who does a lot of tarot readings, you're going to be doing a lot of readings for relationships. So the bag is lovely. This was a Kickstarter. The bag is very nice. It's a little kind of paper crinkly. It's not a very, expensive bag. But, that red orchid stitched on, or, that patch is already just increased its value tremendously because that's not necessarily cheap. Depending. Let's see. So what does she say? The Edvard Munch Tarot for Relationships is a 78-card curation of primarily expressionist paintings specifically selected for divination. The collection spans 6 decades of the artist's work. The emotional landscape of Munch's subjective pieces provides a powerful platform for internalizing our own personal narratives and uncovering insights into interpersonal dynamics. This deck, the deck, includes both portrait and landscape orientation intended to clear a gateway to the subconscious by honoring the artist's original visions. So, yeah, it says Mother Nature reveals her laws, the wise will consider them. How utterly appropriate for 2020. Oh boy, and happy divining. Beautiful. So I should say while I'm pulling this plastic off. So this is important to me because one of the most, his birthday I think is either the same day as mine, the artist, or it's around the same time as mine. I can't remember offhand, but he's also a Sagittarius. And one of the most intense experiences I ever had was going to the art museum, going to see an exhibition of his work. I really cried. I mean, the energy coming from his paintings and his work was so overwhelming to be in the presence of. And it moved me so deeply. It's hard to know. It's hard to even describe. It was so, I'm a synesthete anyway, so sometimes when I see things, I'm hearing something, I'm hearing music or a mood or, just all kinds of things. It's really heartbreaking. His life was heartbreaking, and the depth of his emotions and the intensity of his experience is really very much expressed through his work. The other part of it is that I when I lived in London, I was there to train classically as an actor at Lambda, and I trained and then did training, I trained others in Ibsen and Chekhov and so on. And of course, Henrik Ibsen was Norwegian, even though he rarely lived in Norway most of his life. But this always brings me back. I mean, I could figure out how to play his characters because of Munch, because of the similar time period, and that the intensity of that experience was what really unlocked, being able to work with with Henrik Ibsen's plays, both as an actor and then again as a teacher and as a director. So it's, you know, it's important work to me. It's important artwork. And then otherwise we have, ooh, that's beautiful. Wow. Okay, so then we have the Edvard Munch Tarot for Relationships book. And that is just going to be delicious. Okay, so yeah. She says the Edvard Munch Tarot for Relationships is a curation of Munch's work designed for divination and insight into relationship dynamics. Each card is elaborated upon extensively for relationship readings, including general reading, how someone sees you, future events, and an in-depth deconstruction and analysis of the spiritual aspects organic to the art piece itself. Presented in a full-color text, this compilation provides an alluring collector's item for tarot enthusiasts and art connoisseurs alike. Yeah. So, I'm kind of the ideal audience, I think, for this deck, really, because of my connection with the work. Because I think with most of these, yeah, Melanie. That is just gorgeous. Yeah, Red Orchid channeling Edvard Munch. Wow. Oh, this is going to be wonderful to read with. So she writes about deconstructing gender in readings. Oh, look at that. She's really put a tremendous amount of thought into this. It's interesting. There were a lot of opinions about some of the cards chosen and used here in this deck, and I really kind of just, you know, when the opinion polls came through on Kickstarter, I just said, look, Melanie, I trust your opinions. I trust your process. I just want you to do what you want to do and what you feel is the right choice here. And I'm more than happy to work with whatever that is. Because I mean, as a collaborator, when I work with people, like, they have a vision. If you don't get in the way of it, they're going to come up with something remarkable. And if you're looking to understand as part of the process of working, you know, with another person, you know, you'll get something from it, and you'll find that they probably have a genius in there, especially people who are experienced, you know. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I'm really excited to work with this deck. Really, I'm excited. I'm sure there will be more information to come here about working with it. So simple tuck box that opens easily. You can get your cards out easily. It's one of these. Tuck boxes are hard for me because of the, oh, look at the backs. Because I tend to wear them out. But this one opens really easily, so maybe I won't destroy it. That would be nice. I like it when I don't destroy stuff. So there are a lot. Oh, it's linen. It's a linen cardstock. Oh, that's marvelous. Yeah. There's our, I love that painting so much. Oh my God. Oh my God, there's so much in there. And when I do relationship readings, what I love to, and this is something that took me away, the wedding and the Hierophant. So weddings and Hierophants, when I do relationship readings for people on the lines a lot, when it's, you know, when the person's saying, you know, will he stay? Will he go? Is this going to turn into a commitment, etc.? If the Hierophant shows up as the outcome, yes. You know, wherever this is, the Hierophant shows up for me in relationship readings, it's usually to do with like formalizing, you know, formalizing the relationship in some way. So yeah, and I don't know which way it was, if it was this way or this way. I think it was this way. And the Lovers. That's wonderful. That leaves a lot of space. Okay. Yeah, this is exciting. So I won't do a walkthrough of it right now because there are a lot of them out there. And really, I just wanted to kind of open it and see. These are all works I remember. I have somewhere I bought a book, you know, from that exhibition. I think it's still at my mom and dad's. I mean, for all I know, it may have gone in the prison books box. A lot of books that I've been looking for lately, I found or realized, oh, that went with the. Oh, I love that. And there's she did, you know, she's using. Oh, they're not in order. That's kind of cool. I'll need to put them in order anyway. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, what was I saying about the prison books? You know, when people are in prison, they got to have something to do, something to read, something that restores their humanity. So a lot of my work, a lot of my stuff ended up being given away when I thought I was going to go into a monastery, and that's where I sent it. Anyway, these are just gorgeous. I cannot wait to work with them. They're going to shuffle like a dream. I have several decks. I don't even feel like I need to edge this because it's so pretty with that color coming through. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is gorgeous. So, oh, this is the joy painting. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is, I think. Yeah. It just, his work really lends itself beautifully to a tarot deck. I wondered if at some point somebody might try that with his work because it's always felt to me like it should go. I can totally see reading on the lines with this deck. 100% doing relationship readings with this one. Wow. Yep. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, there you go. That's perfect. So, of course, this was my gateway drug into this deck, or into this artist, of course. I had this on my wall in college when I was training as an actor the first time, because I spent most of my time feeling like this and just feeling alienated and not part of the world. It's a hard... Young people in their 20s. Wow. Oh, here we go. There's a big part of where that came from. God, this is great. Oh my God. Disconnection, Knight of Swords. Yeah. I mean, she's taking a clear slant on this, right? But if you put it in the context of relationships, which is perfect given his work, because so much of his work focuses, this is a perfect Ace of Wands, focuses around his experience of relationships, which was really painful. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Of course. Of course. Yeah. 5 of Wands. That's right. And then yes, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow. They just make so much sense. I love it. The communication. 8 of Wands. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Oh, and that's how you feel in a relationship when you're overwhelmed and you just don't know where to go next. Oh my gosh, there's so much in here that completely works. King of Wands, yeah. I don't know if it's in here. There was a painting of Munch as an old man. It's one of the, oh yeah. Oh. Wow, so much of my youth spent like this. So much. If only I'd known. Yeah, poor guy. Yeah, this is hard. It's hard. Yeah, and the picture of him as an elderly man. It's always put at the very end. Yeah, we get the Hanged Man. I think the Hangman was one of the, oh, maybe these are the alternates. Maybe that's what I'm seeing here. I think there are alternates in here. Sorry, guys. I'm just all over the map taking this deck in. Here we go. So there's yeah, Patriarch or Leader Emperor. So we have two very different visions of the Emperor, depending. And then we have the Justice. That's right. These are the ones. Oh, wait. Was Justice 8? Yeah. Okay. So Justice could either be restoration or divorce. Honestly, I think I would probably put both of them in. Again, like I did with the Emperor, because I want both of those aspects in there to do a reading. And we have the Hanged Man. Yeah. That's so interesting. So these are, instead of getting a totally, this is a very specific read on the Hanged Man. So instead of getting a sense of a changed perspective or of transformation in some aspect, we're getting literally a person feeling silenced, or literally a man feeling trapped, which is very interesting. This one obviously focuses on transformation. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. The moon, of course. There's so many of these. He's done so many of these paintings with the moon, and the light of the moon looking like that. Yeah, which it would, it's that close to the horizon, it would do that. And the sun is so beautiful. Judgment. And the world. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, this is going to be wonderful to work with. I'm so excited and nerded. Can you tell how geeked? Can you tell? Yeah. That's a painting I've referred to, the one that's used here for Arrival, for a lot of scenes in Chekhov, actually, and a few in Ibsen. It's beautiful. Right, so this is going to be a fun deck to work with. All right, everybody, thanks for my sitting through my ramble here. Obviously, I'm really excited, but it's just fun to share all of this with everyone. There's a lot of cool. Oh, I was going to do this guy. That's right. So before I go, let me scratch off and share my little friend. Let's see if I can find a coin or something that could be used. Well, as luck would have it, I went over to my little bureau thing over there, and I have this little bag of foreign coins, most of which are from Britain and Turkey, which is a weird mix, but there we go. And I pulled out a British penny, 1p. So we'll go ahead and use my 1p to scratch off here. Obviously, the idea of traveling right now sounds so good, but we won't be doing that anytime soon. Wow. Okay, so our fortune says, good fortune smiles on you now. How beautiful. Well, there we are, my friends. Good fortune smiles on you now. that is my parting wish for you all. So until next time, may good fortune smile on you now. Okay, everybody. Bye.